Smile. Thumbnail. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Journey with Joe and Dee. I'm Dee.
And I'm Joe, for those of you who are new.
And today we're going to be doing a Turks and Caicos story time, and we're going to have some travel tips thrown in there, but this story time is really in honor of spring break in what, about a month or so?
A month, honey.
And last year we were blessed to travel to Turks and Caicos for our spring break.
I guess we can just get right into it. And this is really a funny story. I know by the title you probably wouldn't think so, but it actually ends up being funny.
It wasn't funny at the time.
Where are we gonna start?
Okay, so first and foremost, it was a mess from the beginning just because of the simple fact that we were supposed to go in September for Joel's birthday.
Yes.
But it was hurricane season. And you know, usually you want to take that risk or whatever, so we were like, yeah, we're gonna take the risk. And boom, of course, a hurricane comes. Not one, but two. We had Hurricane Harvey that went by like the Gulf of, what is it, Mexico, on the edge of Texas. So, you know, Houston, I don't know what it's called.
Yes,
so Houston's over here, and you know, it gets hit by Harvey, and that's the airport we're supposed to fly out of. And then Irma hits Turks and Caicos.
Like the Caribbean.
The Caribbean, yeah. So
there was like two hurricanes going on at the same time. I don't know who told us to book an island vacation in September anyway. So fun fact, in case you didn't know, that is hurricane season. You do have to be careful when traveling to the islands. But in other instances, I have known people to go to Turks and Caicos, to Jamaica, whatever, and it's not even a big deal. So you really just have to gauge it. Anyway, terrible like birthday experience that got canceled. I ended up just going to Dallas, called it a day, whatever.
We moved to spring break, and it was totally my fault, but we waited until not the last minute, but
the
pretty close to the last minute, because I was really convinced that the flight prices would drop, but they didn't.
Mind you, it's spring break, a high demand time when everybody's trying to fly. So, you know, airlines are a business. Why would flights drop? Why would the price drop? Like, it's high demand, it's spring break. Yeah. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad. I was never mad.
She was mad, but anyways. And so, fast forward, we're on our way to the airport. We get to the airport, go through security. Mind you, we decided to only bring carry-on luggage because we were not about to have our luggage get stuck anywhere, considering the fact that we had layovers.
So many layovers, yeah. And that was also a downside to booking so late. The best flight was, you know, one with layovers, and I think it had two, like one in Dallas or somewhere, we can't actually remember, and then another one in Miami.
Yeah. And so we decided not to put our luggage, you know, under the plane or check it, whatever you want to say, because we did not want our luggage to get stuck anywhere, because that's a huge issue with layovers. So we're at our
shadowing.
No, yeah. So we're at our first gate, and the lady is like, yeah, mind you, we're trying to make another flight, like another connection. So we're trying to get on this plane, we're trying to hurry, and this lady's like, yeah, guys, a little intercom. Yeah, please someone check your bags. We're not gonna let you guys board until you check bags and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, we're trying to go, so we're gonna take one for
No, mind you, we sat there and we contemplated.
We waited.
We're like, nah, we already said this is the whole point of us bringing carry-ons. We're not gonna check the bag. And I guess nobody was budging, so
she just kept saying it.
I never know the name of that person at the
front desk agent.
At the gate, yeah, and so she just kept saying it, and we were like, dog, like,
we'll check bags, fine.
And mind you, we're trying to make another flight in Miami, so we're wanting to board this flight faster. So we're like, okay, maybe if we start, it will like create a ripple effect, and everyone will check their bags, and we can get on and go, because hello, we have a whole nother flight to make.
After that, we checked our bags, we get on the flight. Mind you, she did waste a lot of time, so we were running late. So we get to Miami, we hop off the plane, and we literally dart, like sprinting to
I've never been so tired. I've never been so tired.
Joe had to go to the bathroom. I had to get her some water. Mind you, I'm dying too.
Bro, okay. Hold on, you gotta give them the details. So we're running. Like literally, like I've never sprinted this fast in my life. We are running to the airport. People are really looking at us because
we're like sweating at this
running is normal in the airport if you're not trying to miss your flight, but like people were looking because this was like a different type of running.
Like we were like, we are not missing this. Yeah. No, we're not.
So from Miami to, if you've ever flown American, usually they do stop in Miami. That's an American hub before you go to the Caribbean islands. So we're at the airport, we make it to the gate, and you know it's like a small plane that you have to walk out to, like on the, not sidewalk,
out on the runway
area, whatever it's called. And so we get to the desk, the lady's like, oh, y'all made it just on time. We're like, yes. And we're like, okay, what about our luggage though? Like, is it gonna make it? Because we checked it in Dallas. And she's like, oh, like,
it'll make it.
Of course. She was like, there's no way it's getting left. Like, y'all have a bunch of time. Like, they already brought the luggage over here. We're like, oh, okay, bet. So we made it. Like, in, what is the flight? 30 minutes, we'll be in Turks and Caicos living our best lives.
With our luggage.
Spring break 2018. Yeah. And so, yes, when I get on the plane, you know how when you run so fast, you kind of...
Baby barf.
I hate plane restrooms, but I just had to go in there because I was literally about to throw up. I had to get some ice water from the flight attendant.
I was like, can you please bring her some water?
My chest was burning. My chest was burning so hard. Like, it was just a terrible experience, but I felt very lucky to have made the flight. We were on our way. After a while, I settled down and then we were there because it's a very short flight.
Yeah, and the view was beautiful, so that was very calming. We get there, our luggage is not there. We're like, I mean, come on.
Where is it? Like, so yeah, our luggage is not there, which we kind of figured. Like, we thought everything was smooth sailing.
And I hate when airport people lie to me.
Yeah, and American does that a lot. They will like over-promise and under-deliver. That's one reason I don't like them as an airline.
American.
Because they do that a lot, I've actually noticed. So anyway, we don't have our luggage, so we're like, okay, what do we do? So we go, mind you, the Turks and Caicos airport is very small. Alert on my phone through the app that was like, pick up your luggage on the next flight, da 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 da. And so we're like, okay.
Oh, the next flight? Yeah, sure. We got there at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it wasn't late, so we were like.
We go up to the little agent and we're like, okay, so when's the next flight? And she's like, tomorrow.
I need my clothes today.
And mind you, the Turks Caicos airport is very laid back. So basically, after we decided, well not decided, after we were told that we were getting our luggage till tomorrow, we were like, okay, you know, that's fine. We're just gonna head to our Airbnb. And in Turks and Caicos, there's no Uber. You have to taxi ride everywhere and they only take cash, so that's a tip for you.
US dollars.
Yes, US dollars. So we get a taxi, and this is where all the fun begins.
This is where the funniest part of the story begins. So we give up on the luggage thing. We call the taxi. We had done research beforehand on the best taxi to use. We found a really nice guy. He had a lot of pictures with like, you know, solo travelers, teens, women, whatever, that he would give rides and stuff. So it seemed like a very legit site, or not site, but service. And also our Airbnb host recommended this guy. So we're like, okay, bet. So we message the taxi guy on Instagram because that's how he does his communication. He gives us his WhatsApp. He picks us up. And everything's cool. Like, he's a very cool guy.
He's really cool.
He's Greek. He went to school in the States. Like, it just seemed, I don't want to say normal.
Like safe, yeah.
Yeah.
But then after that, we're not dumb at the same time though. Like, we didn't have him take us to our Airbnb. Right. Like, we had him stop at a restaurant nearby and we just decided to walk to our Airbnb so he wouldn't just know where we were staying at. We arrived like in the evening, so by the time we figured out the luggage thing, went to the restaurant, we actually ate at the restaurant because we were hungry and then walked to our Airbnb. And it wasn't very far, but it was just the fact that, you know, hello, it's an island. Like, our Airbnb was like kind of like a little house in a
in like
a bushy area.
Yeah.
And so when we were walking, it was like kind of like dirt roads. I mean, there were other people living in like you know, there were villas all around, but for the most part, like, it was just kind of a little creepy.
And mind you, if we had gotten there in the daytime, it probably wouldn't have been as bad because we would have seen our surroundings, but by this time it's night.
So we get to our Airbnb, we get settled, you know what I'm saying? We get ready for the next day because we have an excursion planned. And you have to pay per person when you ride taxis. So basically it was like $15 per person. So if we had called our taxi driver that we used from the airport to our Airbnb, then we would have to pay to go to the airport and then pay to come back, which would be $30 per person. So he offered to go get our luggage because he already picks up people at the airport all day. So we were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know, and the story really gets crazy.
You know, we're trying to save money, so, you know, we call the airport, we ask them to make sure, like, is it okay if, you know, someone else picks up our luggage, because obviously he's not us. And they were like, oh yeah, we know him. Like, everybody on the island knew him, which made us even more comfortable. So he goes to the airport, picks up our luggage, and brings it back untouched, unharmed, just like he promised. And he has like a girl in the front seat with him, and we're like, oh, okay, and she was black, so it's like, yeah, I mean, everybody there is black because it's Turks and Caicos, but like,
she was like Black American.
Yeah, and she was traveling, and so she got out and talked to us. She was a really cool girl. She was a solo traveler there for her 21st birthday, and she was just saying how she's from LA, so of course we were like, oh my god! Yeah, and so she had missed her ferry to go to South Caicos, which is a different island, which is a part of the same country, but just a different island. So we're like, okay, cool, like, understood, like another ferry doesn't come for like, you know, a few more hours. So she was just chilling with him, you know, she was by herself, so we were like, how about we link up and just go to the beach or something, and you know, maybe get some food, whatever. And so we're like, okay, cool. And I think she wanted to actually change clothes in our Airbnb, but we're not that friendly.
Yeah, she was a little weird.
Yeah, we like just met her or whatever. So she goes off with the taxi driver. We have our luggage, so we're getting ready like to go to the beach. He's saying he's gonna be back in 20 minutes to pick us up. We're like, okay, cool, because at this point we feel like we're getting free taxi rides. So I mean,
yeah, and this is kind of where all the strikes and weirdness starts happening. So one, he didn't come back in 20 minutes, and so we were like, we're not waiting for you to go to this restaurant or whatever, because they wanted to go straight to a restaurant and we wanted to go to the beach. Like, we had been on the beach because we went to an excursion earlier with Provo ponies, but we wanted to actually go on the beach. The beaches are beautiful. They're like second in the world. And so we were like, okay, well, we're still gonna go to the beach.
Yeah, like, why wait? Like, if y'all really want to come, just meet us there, you know?
Yeah, and so he didn't come to pick us up. They didn't meet us at the beach, and then they were like, yeah, come to this restaurant.
And our dumbasses did it.
Yeah, we did.
But okay, this is the thing, it wasn't that weird yet, but I already know that our intuitions kicked in. So that's another thing. If your intuition is telling you something, if you have a gut feeling, kind of just follow it. Even if you think you're crazy, you're probably not.
Yeah, we should have just stayed at the beach.
Yeah, and nothing would have ever happened.
Had our meat patties and Coke and called it a day.
So mind you, we have our little beach time. He was like, come to this, you know, restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. Sure, like, we need to eat anyway. So we caught a different taxi, go to the restaurant where the original taxi guy was and the solo traveler girl. So we get in, and then all of a sudden I get a message from the taxi driver, and he's like, I can come pick y'all up. And we're like, why didn't you say that 10 minutes ago? We're already in a different taxi, so we're not gonna get out of his to get in yours for what? So we pull up. Yeah, so we pull up to the restaurant. He's already like in the parking lot waiting for us, and you know, he knows the other taxi driver. They get out, talk to each other, laugh, whatever. We're like, okay, cool. So everybody likes this guy. He's obviously trustworthy. And so then we were walking up to the restaurant. He already has drinks ordered. Like,
yeah, like, don't do that.
That was the second thing. Like, I'm not gonna drink a drink that I didn't even see get made.
Yeah, what?
And then second strike, this is when it really took a weird turn. The girl was nowhere to be found, which, mind you, we really went to hang out with her. Like, we're not here to hang out with a grown man.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like, it's her birthday. We're like, oh my gosh, that's so lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're turning 21, mind you, that's already kind of like a young age to solo travel. I feel like a lot of 21-year-olds don't solo travel at, like, I don't know, but she wasn't there at the table, and we started asking him where she was, and he was acting extremely weird, just strange, like, oh, she's in the car, like in his taxi.
Yeah,
what?
and
mind you, when we met her, she was very lively, bubbly.
Yeah,
she would not have just been. Of course, we didn't know her, but we wouldn't like. She would not have just been in the taxi. Just.
I mean, you know how you catch somebody's vibe, though. She was a very free spirit, which was confirmed, like, because we like still have her on social media and stuff. Is she drunk? Why is she just sitting in the car? Like, what's going on? Like, what is she doing in there?
Yeah, and like, he's like, oh yeah, she hasn't been drinking, and we're like, okay, well, can we go see her?
Like, let's go get her then. Like, come on.
And then he was like, oh, only one of you can come.
Huh? So
what do you mean what?
Luckily, we just know each other very well, and we had already realized that we had peeped something, and he was also getting kind of aggressive because we weren't drinking the drinks that he bought for us, and I'm like, you will be okay, the drinks were not that expensive.
Literally.
I'm not drinking that, like, no.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, like I was saying, we know each other, so I was like, okay, Denise, yeah, just go see what she's doing. But we already knew, like...
Yeah, I knew she was gonna follow. I was like, Joe's not gonna let me go by myself.
Yeah, and so she walks, I let them walk to the taxi, I give them a good, 8 seconds, and then, of course, I follow. Time I, catch up with them, they're already at the taxi, and he's not trying to open the door. He's telling me that I'm causing a scene by walking up behind them. How am I causing a scene? This is who I'm here with.
And I'm like, hey, we're gonna say her name is Sue. I'm like, Sue, are you okay? Like, can you hear me? Mind you, she is out cold,
like a light,
bro.
Like a light. Slept through the flight. Okay,
no, but no, seriously. She was out cold. She cannot.
Like, Denise is doing this, and she's not waking up.
She's
and
like,
is she dead?
We're like, what? And he was like, oh, then the story switched.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, she has been drinking. And I was like, what? Like, which is it? And then I was like, hey, Sue, where's your phone? We were like trying to find her phone to, maybe get her number, because at this point, we were trying to like get her to wake up, make sure she was okay. But the way he was acting, we were like, we have to go. Like,
yeah,
and here with you, like, we do not feel safe. So I was just really trying to get her number, Instagram, something, so I could contact her to make sure she was safe the next day or whatever.
What was ideally gonna happen, we were gonna get her information, because after a while, she kind of woke up and was a little bit responsive. So we were just gonna get her information and then dip, like. But then I know, like, if y'all know Denisa, she was like, dog, we can't just like leave.
I know.
I was like, girl, I'm ready to go. Like, I didn't care, but if you know Denisa, again. So we were like, okay, where's your phone? I start looking through her backpack. I'm looking for her phone. Everything's in here except her phone. And she, she's waking up a little bit. She's saying her phone number. I don't think it was necessarily right the first time, but when I get my phone to call, he suspiciously walks off. As like, do you have her phone?
Why are you walking away? It was just very
like as if, and he was in his pockets, like as if he was trying to stop the ringer. So I'm like, okay, I feel like he has your phone, and now at this point I'm getting scared, like, and I don't just get scared over stuff like this. So we decide telepathically that we're just gonna, okay, let's just get her Instagram or something, and then dip,
because there's no way if we don't hear her phone ringing that we know that that's the correct number. And so Instagram, for sure, we can look at the picture, know this is her, boom.
Right. Followed her, and then we dipped. We got a different taxi. He was like, no, I'll take you home.
And mind you, he was drunk. We're like, we're not about to have you drive us drunk, crazy.
Yeah, he was very drunk, and so we're like, no, we're good, thank you for everything, we're gonna go.
And he was mad and stuff, and it was just really like, we just felt so uneasy, especially with him knowing where we stayed.
We're like, our minds were racing everywhere. So fast forward, we get another taxi, and mind you, we know this now, but every taxi driver in the city knows each other. So at this point, we get back to our Airbnb, and we're like, did we even go back?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't go back.
We stopped. We had him stop somewhere. I forget where, because we made so many stops. We just started looking for hotels that were open that we could stay at or whatever, so we could leave our Airbnb. And mind you, we took a lot of taxi rides. We went to a lot of hotels, and finally, this one hotel we called was like, oh yeah, like we have a room or whatever, because like we said, it's spring break. A lot of things are booked up. Chilled out for the night, and then went back the next morning, got our stuff from the Airbnb, and checked out. And then the rest of the trip was great.
Yeah, got some money back for the Airbnb, so that was good. I mean, after we spent so much to find a new hotel. And so, yeah, like Denisa said, the rest of the trip was pretty smooth sailing. But in hindsight, I will say Turks and Caicos is very safe. We also got to catch up with the girl. She was safe.
She was good. Yeah. But catch this, her and the guy, the taxi driver, ended up going to her place, and
they got an Airbnb together.
Yeah, and so it was really weird.
This whole time we were super worried about her, and she ended up just
living her best life.
With him. So wait, are we saying don't go to Turks and Caicos? It's very beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. The food is great. The people are so nice. Things there are expensive. We didn't say this, but when we lost our luggage, we just kind of bought some clothes, and they were like very expensive. So just know that if you're going to Turks and Caicos.
Just, have cash for the taxis, like we said. Every everything is really chill. You know, you're going to an island, so you know, don't think you have to like wear heels, dress up. The clubs are really fun. If anything, I would definitely suggest staying in the hotel district area, especially if you're younger.
Tune in for more travel tips, more travel vlogs, you know, college, lifestyle, all that good stuff. We plan on really putting out that content in 2019.
Yes, for sure. So subscribe and like this video and comment down below, you know, your spring break stories if you have any, where you're going. We'd like to talk, and make sure you follow us on Instagram.